Does this put the MacBook back on track?
I think it certainly puts Mac and ARM back on track. I think coming out of the Snapdragon Qualcomm event last week and seeing what they're able to do with their platform, and now having Apple with the N3 clearly puts the ARM architecture as a whole in a much better place compared to Intel and x86. So I think that's what we're looking at, and the excitement around what this opportunity brings to the PC market.
What did you make of the price points, Carolina?
It was very interesting to see that the entry-level MacBook Pro was dropped in price. This is the one that, together with the MacBook Air, has been the volume maker, and one that now at a lower price of $1,599 starting point is going to really worry the PC OEMs. The power that Apple has to convince people that now that they own everything from the silicon to the hardware to the software, and Tim Cook pointed to that in the event yesterday, is really reassuring customers that basically they're buying something that is in full control of Apple and not like before at the mercy of Intel silicon.
It really was Apple silicon that was the selling point here, Carolina. Is that enough to drive significant, desire to be buying in, particularly as we head towards the holidays, do you think?
Well, I think if the silicon doesn't convince you, the black color will. There was a lot of assignment on the black color for the higher end SKU of the MacBook Pro. And I think that where Apple is pointing is really at upgrading current Intel-based Mac owners and then M1 owners to really get into the newest and fastest of their silicon product based. But from a holiday perspective, we are still in a tough economic environment, and that needs to be reconciled with. We are looking at also enterprise, not only consumers for Apple though, and so there's definitely more opportunity there as we get into the new year.
By the way, Caroline and Carolina, the entire event, according to a blog post that Apple posted 6 minutes ago, was shot on an iPhone 15 Pro Max, the entire thing. And it was edited on Mac. So they're trying to flex their product line across the board. What I think is interesting, Carolina, is how they compare the performance of M3, and there's kind of an arc, right? M3 Pro, and M3 Max, relative to M1, but also Intel. Right, the top-tier MacBook Pro, they said, was 11 times faster than the most powerful Intel Power PC. So who are they going after here, right? Are they going after just the high-end PC market, Intel, users that want an upgrade, or are they just trying to keep refreshing those existing installed base of Apple devices?
Both. It is really trying to capture market share in the higher end of a PC market, getting as many people as possible off of Intel so that they can experience that higher seamless workflows that comes from owning all the pieces of the equation, and continue to then upgrade from there. I do think that, as you said, there's a lot of flex there on, they had actually footnotes at the end of the event about being shot on iPhone and edited on Mac. So they are really talking to creators, but at the same time, without ever mentioning Gen AI, they were talking to AI developers, to very high demanding workflows. So there's definitely an attention there to where the conversation is today.